In the Cabbage.
Well, let's get it.
Test.
Yeah, we're live.
Welcome to In the Cabbage. This is crazy.
This is pretty bananas right now that we're actually doing this.
I'm Tommy Swain, Andrew Witt. Please subscribe, please listen, please download, like. And just a reminder, keep swinging. Welcome back to In the Cabbage. I'm your boy, Tommy Swain. To my right, or your left, Andrew Witt.
What up?
What is up, buddy? How was your weekend?
Dude, it was good. Pretty mellow Memorial Day weekend, I would say.
Yeah.
It was really nice because Katie and I have been going all over the place doing a bunch of stuff the last few weekends. We feel like we haven't even taken a break since after the wedding. So it's really nice to kind of just have a nice chill weekend. Really fun. We had you guys over and your mom, my mom, over for a little birthday barbecue, little celebration, for her birthday over there. So it was
nice.
That was really fun. Went over to the pool area, and dude, the cabanas are just so nice to watch some basketball.
Really are.
It really hits. So
yeah, your community has these cabana TV pool area.
It's probably the best thing that our community has going for us for the apartment complex.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Really solid.
Good TV, hanging out.
Dude, and you got comfy chairs in there. Feel like you can have a nice little seclusion because you have some little blinds that you can move over as well. So it's just a really nice little deal. Love going down there for Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, something like that. When it's less popular, we just bring a blanket down there, and it's kind of a fun little time. So yeah, just did that, and I have been crushing some Zelda actually.
Oh yeah, you're deep in it right now.
I've put in about 8 hours this weekend probably.
Whoa, that's a lot of video game
time. It's a lot.
For your boy.
That's a lot, dude. So that was the downtime, and that was great. Katie was all into it as well. We do that thing where if we're not watching a TV show, and there's no sports on, nothing's really grabbing our attention, we're let's just play some video games. And it's a cool way to kind of do something that also I really enjoy.
Right.
And it's kind of cool that she's enjoying that as well. So
very cool.
That was about it. But I know that you were actually doing a little bit more than just chilling this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I came over here in the backyard, was ripped to shreds, but it looks beautiful.
Yeah. Well, for whatever reason this weekend, Madison and I seemed like everyone is a unanimous vote that this was going to be a chill weekend for everybody.
I mean, families across the board
doing nothing.
All for it.
Everyone we were talking to, yeah, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not going out. Yeah. And it was funny because Madison and I felt like it. But we're trying to be.
That is kind of a nice thing too, because if you think about it, you really do want to do nothing on the weekends that are supposedly your holiday weekends, because everything in the entire world is 10 times busier on a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to just be you know what? We're not going to deal with all the crowds. We're just going to be hanging out and take a little bit of extra time. Whether it's taking care of yourself a little bit more mentally or getting something done around the house or what have you.
And it was dead. Everywhere we went out last night and downtown Costa Mesa, which is normally pretty cool now, pretty poppin' most of the time. Dead. Got into a speakeasy called Cowboys and Poodles.
Love that. But Katie and I have been wanting to check that out for a little while.
Madison loved the vibe. Super cool. She had a tequila Manhattan.
Interesting.
She loved it. She's
a big tequila gal, isn't she?
Yeah, tequila straight up. I go to a bar and I'm going hey, what do you want to drink? And if it's a packed bar, we're at a clubby nightclub bar type of vibe. We I just get 2 or 3 shots in the glass with a couple limes.
Wow, dude. It just sounds so aggressive. Not even a tequila soda?
No, sometimes she is tequila straight up.
Damn. That's Jose Cuervo too.
Probably. Yeah, she's fine. She likes nicer stuff, but if I do shots in the glass at the club, I'll go Castadores or something.
Okay, there you go.
Just to make it a little bit more palatable for her. But the big event was we ended up getting rid of a slab of concrete. I'm awful with feet, but we're gonna say,
I'd say it's a good 15 feet.
Okay, cool. Because I was gonna say 6.
No. I feel
that makes a lot more sense. If I lay it down.
If you laid down a basketball hoop, right? I feel like it's a basketball hoop and a half, or like a basketball hoop and you laying down.
Yeah.
It's a good like 4 steps.
I agree. Yeah. Okay. And then like 2-3 feet up against the garage, I had to go rent a concrete saw. And if anyone knows me, fun fact, not handsy. Not great with handyman stuff, not great with repairing things.
You know what? That's why you got big old Glenn Swaim coming through big time.
Glenn Swaim coming in with the heat. I mean, that man could fix anything. He's like Bob the Builder. He's built like a hobbit, but can fix anything too. So it's great. He came out. The in-laws came out. My mom came out. I think this was going to be like more of like a spectacle than anything else. Like Tommy's actually going to use like a concrete saw. And I had to go get a jackhammer.
Jesus, dude. That was going to be my next follow-up question because I know Glenn's got it all in the garage.
Not a concrete saw, not a jackhammer.
Okay, yeah, that's next
like
level
specialty tools you need in a specialty blade.
Gotcha.
So I ended up renting it from a Home Depot. It was like $200.
By the way, I thought that thing was going to be all like jaggedy line, like all over the place. That thing is arrow straight, my guy.
Dude, it's as good as it could be. But once
just for the first time on the sticks,
time on the sticks,
that's huge.
Well, you got to fully lock in for it.
Yeah,
and I had like a line of the concrete. It's like the fault lines. Like, you know, where you see like the little dips in the concrete. It's where you're supposed to cut concrete at.
I mean, I don't know what that's called, but I'm going with it.
The guy at Home Depot called it the fault lines.
Okay, nice.
So I walk up, rent the equipment, right? And he's like, all right, so you know how to use one of these? I'm like, nah, man, I've never picked up a saw before. And she's like, oh, so you got to put your foot here. I'm going to turn it on. It's a ripcord, like an old school lawnmower.
Hell yeah. That's kind of what you want, though, out of those those toys.
He's like the decompressor button. And I have to pay attention. Right? I'm an adult now, right? So I don't have someone else there to be like, this is how they do it. And then someone
you're going solo mission to pick this thing up by yourself.
And a jackhammer.
It's all on you.
All on me. So if it doesn't work when we get back, because the guy
you don't want to be calling Home Depot and be like, yeah, can I talk to the management? This guy like walked me through how to use like a concrete saw. You don't want to hear that whole spiel again.
And like, okay, so I pay attention, learn how to turn it on. He did it super loud. And he's like showing me like the 2 different triggers you have to hold down for it to go. And he's like, and it will run on you, whatever. If you like don't hold it down properly, it will like catch the concrete and start to run. So he's like, you gotta hold on to it. Like it might kick back on you, but just like fight it back. Like you gotta be on it.
Okay.
Like
because you don't want it to like jump up and like tear up some of the other concrete that's right there.
Or whatever. Or it to jump back in my face.
That too.
Or my foot. And so then I sent a video. His name was Rudy from Home Depot, homie. Called him the day before. I'm like, hey, I have no clue what I'm doing. He's like, I'm here tomorrow all morning. Swing on by, ask for Rudy, bring a video. Came by, brought a video. So he showed me the jackhammer and the blade, whatever. Get in the car. He gives me a can of gasoline. We get here. Everyone's waiting. It's like a show. And walk in. My dad pulls up at the same time. Thank God. Got 2 guys who were very handy. My in-law, father-in-law, and my dad. So knew I was in really good hands. And both of them are older now. My dad just had a full knee replacement.
Right.
And my father-in-law, probably shouldn't. He could do it, but just probably shouldn't.
Right.
So it was on the young buck.
Yeah, you're the guy.
Right, I'm the guy. All the women are in here hanging out, staring at me.
I mean, you're prime of your career here as far as like kicking off fatherhood and like a little bit of the
I know this is me now. I'm a prime ape. I'm in my primordial youth right now. So we get through it. My dad's warning me. They're warning me like what to do and what not to do. And they're like, all right, fire this thing up.
Right.
So
Here we go.
We're ripping on the thing. I'm trying to get it started. Me and my father-in-law flood the engine.
Oh, no.
Because we're just pushing the gas nozzle so many times.
Oh, no.
Ripping. My dad's like, you're flooding it. So just keep ripping it. You're going to have to rip it like 20 or 30 times now to clear it out.
Are you sore?
Sore. Already haven't even started. And I finally get the thing on. Take a deep breath. All right. We get it going. I thought it was just going to cut right through. No problem, no hiccups.
Sure.
One cut all the way to the bottom, and we move on. Nay.
No.
Nay. You have to come. So we do the initial cut, and I'm going way too deep. My dad like taps me on the back. It's like the blade's slowing down your weight and screaming at me.
Right.
This is like 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure we're getting a letter from my HOA. Like,
Sure, you got to deal with all that, great
whatever
stuff
it's going to be. And taps on my back. It's like, you're going way too deep. You got to do multiple cuts.
Damn, son. Okay.
And I'm like, oh my God, I have to do this more than once. So
you're trying to just get in there and get out.
I don't want to do this. I'm so nervous. Like, I do not want to use this machine. Like, at all.
It's intimidating.
I don't use
sign up for this.
I don't use drills. You know what I mean? Like,
no
and I'm supposed to use a concrete saw, and we're attaching a hose to it so the blade doesn't burn and like spark up and break. So we have like water running on the blade the whole time.
Right.
So it ends up going well. It's not the straightest cut in the world, but it's good. If I stood behind it to the side, you see where I kind of like.
Yeah, but if you're just casually taking a step out there, it looks perfect.
Right. I appreciate that. It
looks great. Of course, you're going to be like all the OCD kicks in. You're going to like start sitting back there and you're just staring at the damn thing. And of course, you're going to like see like, oh, I messed up there. But like just looking at it looks great, dude.
And thank you. And my dad, tapped me back and said, he was like, good job. Almost made me cry. Love that. Love a good job from a dad.
Of course. It's different.
It really does. Like also in Disney movies, if there's a father-son scene in a Disney movie,
it just gets you right in the feels, huh?
Oh, turn it off. Just turn it off. Madison will know too, right? Because I don't really cry like at a lot of movie things.
Sure.
Or TV
That's never really been you, I try to fight it for the most part. Yeah.
It does get me, but for the most part, I fight it. But a father and son bond or brother bond.
It's one of those things like, shield your eyes.
Right.
I can't do it.
Madison look at me and she's like, I know you're going to cry. Just do it already. And the Beyond, the Pixar movie Beyond, I think it is. It's like.
What's that one? I'm pretty good with Pixar movies. You know that.
Yeah, it's like they're fictional characters, obviously, like monsters of some sort.
Is it the one where they're like magicians? And there was like a bunch of magic, and there was like they're doing it for their like dead father,
right? Yes. Like a Dungeon and Dragons type of vibe,
exactly.
Right, and it goes from how I remember. Spoiler alert: is the older brother remembers the dad,
exactly.
The younger brother doesn't.
Yep.
And they're on a mission to save their dad.
Yes.
And at the end of the mission, they realize it's just a message, and only one brother can go and talk to dad. And it's actually their dad. It's not just a message. They can have a full-blown 2-minute whatever conversation with each other. The older brother gets stuck in something and can't go see the dad. The younger brother was going to go back and help his older brother out.
Right.
Because it was like his older brother's dream to see dad again. Younger brother really doesn't know what he's missing out on.
Sure.
Goes back, and the older brother tells the younger brother, go.
Right.
I might tear up right now. He says, go.
Like, I can't. I'm not going to hold you back. Why should we both miss out on this?
And the older brother has to watch the younger brother talk to his dad. Oh, my God.
It really is. Whatever, we're botching the movie title, but yeah, it's a must watch.
I think it's Beyond or something.
It got me too.
Oh, my God.
It really gets you in the feels.
So anyways, back to dad stuff. Cut the concrete. The line's okay. I keep going at it, finally get all the way down. And it took me like an hour and a half just to do that one long cut.
Damn, dude. That's a long time.
And you have to I had to sit there, do the first cut. We went back, did the second cut. My dad's like, okay, now you got to cut it like in sections. You have to work one spot and then move it. Work one spot all the way down, move it. You could he's like, you could feel it, right? Like, you know how you're going up and down through the line? It's because you're not evenly cutting it through. You have to the blade touch, the very you can feel your full blade leading it. It's getting loosen up. So we did that the whole way through, and we start jackhammering it. Dude, I don't know what using with a jackhammer. I'm just hitting it all different corners. I'm sledgehammering things, trying to break off. Basically, what you're trying to do is you're trying to create a crack through the piece of concrete.
I see.
And then once you find that crack, you just try to jackhammer the crack out. And you just take them off at
That's
pieces.
how you're able to just like take out chunks at a time.
Right.
Gotcha.
But to build that, you have to like create something. So a lot of times sledgehammers will create a weak point that you can use the jackhammer to get it through.
I see.
So
this is the much further than just the classic Build-A-Fort camp that I did when I was younger.
No, this is crazy. So like the concrete, for whatever reason, on the far left side was like butter. The jackhammer was like click, click, and it was like cutting through. I'm like, oh, this is easy breezy.
Right.
But I knew the concrete in the middle was the tough part, and it took us an hour to get the next square out.
Wow.
To the point where I also got the jackhammer stuck in the concrete because I went through it so easily that I couldn't get it back out. But we were close enough to like where I had to like whack at it like the sledgehammer concrete concrete around it like 20 times, 30 times. Finally got it loose enough for me to take it out again. We figured out a system. We broke it up. But yeah, it was exhausting. Nice. It was a good time, though.
I bet that was fun sledgehammering things.
It was for a bit, but it hurt your hands.
Isn't it rubber or no?
No, it was one we had was like wood.
Oh, my God.
So I hit something and it'd be like...
Just rattle you.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I couldn't hit it that hard. I'm showing off for my lady, though. She never sees me do anything.
You got to swing it a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm swinging it. I'm trying to break this concrete in half.
Right.
And, just trying to show off, let the lady know, you know what I mean? Your man still got it.
Right.
Like that. Showing her some of my manly side instead of this, like, soft, talkative, squishy side.
The one that just talks about candles all the time.
Right.
Just loves it.
Right. Sure. Like, I got some dog in me still. Yeah. And also my mom is just such a badass.
Yeah, Vicky really does bring it.
So, like, she's in there, and I'm knocking off concrete slabs.
Both your parents,
Really do. Mm-hmm. My dad, just, like, ultimate power tool, ultimate understanding guy. He had a knee replacement, still cut off some, like, concrete, like, spike plugs in the backyard that were sticking out by himself.
Wow.
And full knee replacement. He finally is like, okay, I gotta go ice this thing.
Yeah, that thing was probably like the size of a balloon.
Right.
By the time when he was done, is he doing like the full Brooks Koepka leg off to the side? So he
I can't even tell. I don't think so. He's just so he gets so over it. But he helped out tremendously. My father-in-law the whole time there, coaching me, helping me out. He's cool. Digging out like the bottom dirt of it so it falls off easier. These huge chunks of concrete my mom is picking up and moving. Just bending over, squatting down, picking up these huge pieces of concrete.
Those bitches are probably like 30, 40 pounds.
Easy.
Yeah.
And she's doing it, she did like 20, 30 times.
Wow, dude.
And, finally once we were done, she called it quits. That was it. I mean, I can't believe she did that. It was so cool. It's like, it's hard to be like a little weak boy when your mom's out here squatting 30, 40 pounds at like, an older age.
I was going to say also the parents kind of getting up there a little bit now, like,
Right.
So, props to them.
So I was like, wow, my mom can't be over here like, oh, my hands hurt.
No.
I got lower back issues right now. It's like, no. We got to get through
Stronger
this.
than me, dude. My back's like a little, it's a little frail twig, dude.
Your back over there is ready to snap at any point. But yeah, man, we had you threw some amazing food out at the...
Thanks, buddy.
Your mom's birthday dinner. The steak was unbelievable. The cucumber, the lettuce wraps, all of it. All the 9 yards was fire. The star of the show was the rice.
Dude, always is.
We
made 6 cups of rice for like 8 people.
Yeah.
And like, I would say 3 to 4 of those people don't eat that much. And... Dude, we just cleaned house on that rice. We probably had like a cup of rice left. And usually it's like
I eat like a cup and a half, no problem.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, I can too.
Dude, no problem with a little soy sauce and steak. That's it. No, the steak was my favorite part for sure. And then we watched some basketball. I can't believe that Miami somehow blew game 6.
Dude, I cannot believe they let that slip away. I felt like for sure they would have had, like everything unraveling on their end. Like, oh my God, we just lost a close one. They got all the momentum now.
Right.
And I feel like that was going to be it.
And I did too. And he tipped it in and I was like, oh, there's no chance they're getting back on this, like no chances is going to work out. And sure enough, they fucking, pulled it off tonight.
I couldn't believe it, honestly. And it wasn't even close.
No,
like the Heat didn't really win the game. I feel like more of the Celtics just played terribly.
Celtics look awful. They look Tatum looked tired. People look tired. I mean,
he sprained his ankle. Did you see that?
I heard about that. Yeah,
he sprained his ankle on the opening play, like the first quarter, 15 seconds in, first possession.
I mean, that's rough.
And didn't roll it like a half-hearted roll. It was a good sprained ankle where like he jumped up for a shot and landed on his like left foot and like really twisted that bitch.
Really got it going.
Yeah. So I'm actually I knew he was gonna play through it, but you could definitely see that it was affecting him, like hitting a shot, his aggressive ability. He couldn't really even play like on-ball defense that well.
That's unfortunate. I mean, also Jimmy Butler needs to like go back to game 1, 2, 3, whatever. Butler.
Yeah, he does. He actually balled out a little bit tonight though. He hit a few like really clutch threes.
I saw that.
He did shoot like 45-ish percent from the field, but still dropped like 30.
He's gonna have to against the Nuggets.
He's gonna have to shoot 60%.
He's gonna never miss. Like essentially, they miss, they're gonna lose.
I agree with you. He's got to go back to his old school scoring, and Caleb Martin needs to just keep being the MVP of the team, the unsung hero.
So we can go with predictions here real quick since you're on the roll. Give me who you think, Nuggets or Miami?
I got to give it to the Miami Heat. What a cool Cinderella story would be if they pulled this off. Mm-hmm. But like just going through and watching like pulling back a little bit of history or just looking at the Lakers series when the Nuggets were playing against them.
Yeah.
I mean,
more rest too. They've rested this whole time.
The rest of the whole time. And yeah, there's like, everyone talks about rust as well. I'm like, I don't really think that's really that big of a thing for those guys. Those guys are professionals. They're also
a week
like,
and a half. You don't think they're touching basketballs and shooting?
They're practicing every single day.
They're just going ice therapy heavy, but they're still running through and getting up hundreds of shots.
Yeah, you're just not getting banged up like you would in a game.
Right.
Jokic
is probably fully resting.
Yeah, they're coming out really fresh. And I just don't see this going the Miami Heat direction. So that's my prediction. I don't know when. I'll say Nuggets in 6.
Nuggets in 6.
Nuggets in 6. Yeah.
Nuggets in 6. Okay. I think I'm gonna go with you. Nuggets for sure. All the way.
They just shoot too well. They're just too good of a shooting team. They move the ball way too well, and they're big.
And they're way gonna outsize Miami.
Yeah. I mean, the only hope is that Miami can force them into
foul trouble
and then turnovers through like scrappy defense. But the Nuggets don't turn the ball over.
No.
They turn over like 11 times a game.
Jokic is going to have the ball most of the time. You're 7-foot point guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the biggest issue for me, like not even that, like size and who's going to stop Jokic. Bam's
going to have zero chance.
Zero chance. Not tall enough, not
the man can't
enough.
even back down Marcus Smart.
Right.
He's got zero chance against Jokic.
He's 0-5 against Jokic.
Yeah, year. I mean that does not shock me. And then you got what? You got Kevin Love as a backup.
No, this is the only thing I see happening for them. I would say Nuggets in 5. The only way I think this series actually happens is if Kevin Love and Bam have to play at the same time.
Yeah, because then you can also have Bam play on Aaron Gordon.
Correct.
And
you let Kevin Love just try to stretch Jokic out of the paint. He could hit threes right now.
Yep.
And I'm sure you can have him just D up and throw a body on somebody. I think Kevin Love is going to be huge for them if they want a shot. What's going to happen? Keys for me, Kevin Love has to have an unbelievable series. I didn't see him much at all against Boston.
Was not actually in the rotation this last game, but he was a starter for the first 4 games in the series or 5 games in the series.
I know he has played a lot, significant minutes for Miami in the playoffs, and I think he's going to have a most unbelievable
he's going to have to wind back Father Time's clock right now and really
he's got to put up like 15 and 10 boards every game for them to have a shot.
I agree.
Bam's going to have to play unbelievable rebound and scrappy defense. Jimmy Butler is going to have an MJ-like series. And Martin is going to have to play like he's been playing.
And Struce got to shoot 50%, and Robinson's got to shoot 50% from the three-point line.
And maybe Hero comes back in for the championship.
Is he cleared, actually?
I don't know. Maybe they can get him through for game 2.
Yeah.
And Nuggets just need to play like B-ball, and they'll be fine.
Yeah. But the Nuggets are bringing their A game to the court
every time.
Every single time. So it's just, Yeah, over a course of a 7-game series, you got to think the Nuggets are going to bring their B game or A game
every time,
like 3 or 4. If it goes 7,
you're getting their A+ and A+ at home, and you even if you're playing A ball, it's like B+ ball because of the altitude. So to me, it's just no doubter. I don't see it working. Too much ask from, even though these undrafted role players are amazing and they're playing great, it's too much ask for Jimmy. He doesn't have enough weapons, and he's not that type of shooter where he can put up a lot of easy points.
I agree.
He has to work really hard for his buckets, and it's not like a Steph Curry where you're like, maybe 10 or 12 of those points are going to be real easy for you.
True.
A couple off ball.
Things really open up for guys that shoot the 3 ball really well. You have to play really aggressive on them on the perimeter. Historically, Jimmy Butler doesn't really do that very much on the perimeter. He shot a few tonight, but that's unlike him. He doesn't really go to the 3 ball much.
Everything's hard. It never seems like an easy bucket for him.
No, they're always like jump stop fadeaways, get in contact, double pivots in the lane,
Right, trying to work for it hard. But, not impossible, just I just want a good series, but I see ultimately Nuggets, Jokic being too much.
When do you have him winning?
In 5.
In 5 at home.
Yeah, they're going to play A+ at home both games right off the series.
I just didn't want to write off the Heat because I know that they're just playing some pretty damn good basketball right now, and they're finding ways to win. They beat
I would
the Bucks.
love for Kevin Love and Jimmy Butler to get a ring, and Kevin Love retire. It would be all time to see for Kevin Love, or him become a Laker. Be awesome too. Just to have him like on the 12th man on the bench.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that.
A little center come in, pull out. But anyways.
And he's also fully invested. You know where you're getting from him as well.
And he's played with LeBron.
That's legit.
Did you hear LeBron had a torn tendon in his foot the entire season?
I heard about that.
And he has to have surgery now?
On the entire season or just playoffs?
I heard the playoffs for sure. I thought I read it the whole season.
Wow, dude. That's insane.
Could you?
No, I can't imagine.
If that's really true, and he's 30 whatever years old,
38, dude.
He's gonna be 39 this year, and he had a torn tendon in his foot, and he still was playing like that. The man could play another 5 years in the NBA, no problem.
Yeah. It just depends on I would say yes and no.
Torn tendon in his foot, and he was a top 20 player this year.
His physicality, if he's able to keep that up for, dude, you're asking 5 more years.
No, he'll learn how to change his game.
He's not a pure shooter, though.
I think if I have faith in the greats, if he wanted to be, he would learn. If LeBron was like, okay, I need to be a shooter guy.
Yeah. You don't think he's been working on his shot for the last 20 years in the NBA?
I don't think it's been his sole focus.
Okay. I think that's fair, but they're working on their jumpers a lot.
Right,
though.
but I would say that LeBron probably is in the gym a lot more. He's working on defense and physicality and his inside game and his post game. I'm thinking go to like a shooting coach and completely learn how to shoot the 3 and become like a point guard.
Yeah, if you can do that, then sure, he can play until he's 43 years old because he's still got the size.
He'd just be like guarding your 4 or 5, your slowest player, and he'd just be a point guard essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he has like 2 or 3 other stars and he's like the 3rd or 4th option on a team,
you guys are going to be just fine.
That,
right.
Like, you'll be fine.
Yeah. No, that's fair. But that is crazy how he played for most of the season with that torn tendon in his foot. That's nuts.
Yeah. I always play injured, especially in my golf tournaments when I tore meniscus. So me and LeBron, same person. A little golf update here. I had my first corporate 4-man scramble on Thursday.
Going to be really, really fun, dude. Have you ever played in one of those 4-man scramble events?
No, never.
Never once?
Never once. This is my first time.
Oh my God, dude.
I'm really excited.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Tell the people where you're going to be playing.
Yeah, it's Oak Creek. It's a little course. I think it's Tom Fazio designed in Irvine.
Okay. Nice.
I hear it's narrow. I always get mixed reviews. I think I'm going to have a really good look at it, just from the nature of it being a private tournament. It's like the top lawyer groups in Orange County that I'm going with. So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I hear there's drinks on every booth, yada, yada.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
Wait,
are you going for your work or are you going?
No.
You going for
so
someone
I got
else's
invited
work?
from my uncle, and it's my uncle, my cousin, me, and his friend Chris Chris is the guy who gets the tickets. He invited Steve. They couldn't get the other two guys to go, so they're subbing us in.
You're like, boom, baby. It's time to rally up. I'm in.
And, it's so much fun because I love to think about the order and what we would go like. Because it would change between driving and putting. We wouldn't be the same order for sure.
Right.
Mikey's probably going last and hitting on driver, hoping that
so he can send it on down. So he can send it on down there.
Yeah, so he can just whack it on down there for us. And he hits a 5-wood now, and he hits it pretty accurately. So even if we absolutely needed him to, but I'll find the middle.
I was going to say you go like second or third.
Right, I'm going second or third, and I'll just put us in the middle 260.
Who's your close-up putter?
Truly,
because that's really what you make your money on.
At this point, I don't want to sound cocky. It should be me.
Yeah,
I should be the last putter for us, but I think Steve and his buddy have done this before, and Steve's playing a lot of these. I don't know what the pressure would be like.
Is he a good putter?
For us. He's an okay putter. He used to be better. He might. We're gonna go off of what Steve wants. If Steve's like, "Yeah, I'll clean it up," we're gonna let Steve clean it up. If he's like,
it's also here's the crazy thing too. It's like you're invited, so you don't want to like overstep.
Correct.
And be like, no, I'm closing us out, or I'm going third in the hole here.
Right. And I think just because Steve has been struggling with putting, Mikey historically has struggled with putting.
Yeah, Mikey's got to lead you guys off.
Or Chris. I don't know how Chris is as a golfer.
True.
But Mikey driving last for us. Mikey probably doing mid-irons he's really good at. He can really keep it low and punch and run someone up there.
He never really gets in trouble with his irons unless he's really misstriking it.
Yeah, if he's really off, then it's off. But we'll see. It'll be fun. I'm really excited to go do that.
And also get a little work from home day on Friday.
Yeah, so
that is huge.
Work home today, work home Friday.
Yeah, dude, love that.
Or sorry, Tuesday. Work home on Tuesday.
So yeah, like then you really have like the free reign on the whole booze situation. And you can kind of like, are you guys doing like dinner afterwards? Is it like a full event? Are you doing something?
I haven't
got
much details, I assume.
It's really fun, dude.
I don't think we're gonna win. I really don't.
That's the fun part of it though, is you're going out there to make some connections and have some drinks and laughs and can just, semi compete.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I just wanna I wanna shoot well. I don't want us to like go out there and lay an egg.
That's not gonna be the case.
Right.
No way.
I wanna go out there and, have some shots, maybe be in the hunt. Maybe we're like, birdie, birdie, birdie. Be like, ooh, we're balling.
What is your guys like? Do you have a goal score you're trying to get to?
We haven't really talked about much.
Do you have one that you want to get to? If you guys don't get to like 12 under,
that's rough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems tough for us, I think.
You might. I feel like a good number could be 10.
I think 10 would be like 10 or 9 would be a good number for us. Like Steve's amazing. I've seen go very low by himself. But our men's club, and that's only whenever I see him play. Mikey and I, mid 80s, and I don't know what Chris shoots.
If you guys had some mulligans, that's a thing at these like 4-man scramble.
So I guess we're
tournaments.
gonna find out what
you can like buy
happens.
them.
I mean, I'm sure there's a closest to pin competition too.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
So it'll be fun. I'm really excited for it. I just, I want to personally just play well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But what was the most recent one? You did one with your
aunt and uncle,
right?
Yeah, the Morgan Run tournament, fresh start.
That's right.
Yeah, dude, that was really fun. I think we got to like 8 or 9 under, but
that's good.
We also just didn't have we're not bringing out aces out there with us. It was more, it's like all fun. We had my aunt and her friend. They never really play anymore, really that much. My aunt does, but she like shouldn't be playing. She just had like eye surgery and like stuff like that.
Right.
So, like,
she's like fighting through the pain.
So the fact that we went out there and shot like 8 under was pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean 8 under, 9 under for us too would be awesome number. I'd be happy with that. Speaking of your aunt and Uncle Bob is a football player, a professional football player.
Yeah.
At one point in his life, and heard a topic recently I thought was very interesting, and I would love to maybe for you and I to dive in. Who have the better athletes? And we've had an argument like this before, And we think overall, you talk about an overall football team or a basketball team, which whoever the better athletes,
Right.
basketball or football players. If it's just the overall team, the linemen are bringing it down. It's obviously basketball.
Right, of course.
So
and you're just looking at which athlete in sports is like the most athletic, right?
Right. And
who are the best athletes
per capita. And now we narrowed the argument, which I think is interesting. Skilled position
for football.
All
right, you take out the linemen.
Take out the linemen. And like linebackers, maybe some linebackers, but mainly you're talking about wide receivers and corners.
For sure.
And
you could have some like outside linebackers. Those guys are pretty athletic.
For sure.
You know? I don't know. I'm going to take the side on the football player here, so we can have a little bit of back and forth. Because I do actually believe that there is some say with football players, and I'm going to make a little case here.
Please make your case. Court's in session.
Like, okay, so let's set a little bit more of the ground level first.
Love this.
So, like, are we talking about just pure athleticism and raw power and speed and agility, or are we talking like, you know, are we having to be like accomplishing drills? Are there like other things that we need to like? Are we doing Ninja Warrior? You know, like are we doing something like that?
I would say athletic prowess to me encompasses everything in a sport.
Right.
So hand-eye coordination, intelligence, like intelligence being like understanding your sport and quickly responding to that.
Yeah, the reads
of a sport,
anticipating.
Obviously athletic ability and mobility and, you know, jumping and whatever. All of it that encompasses sports is athleticism to me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like alone, that's why I think if you're throwing in the hand-eye coordination, right, and like not so much like the readability and anticipation, because I feel like football has a lot of that, especially at the corner position and like running routes and like subtle body fakes and stuff like that. But I feel like that's where you get the edge. Because the corners are great athletes, but they are lacking some of that hand-eye coordination. That's why they're playing defense.
Right. They're not making the big bucks.
Right, exactly. And so, you know, but a lockdown corner is a special athlete, though. Special athlete.
And sometimes they do have hands. They just like defense better.
Exactly.
So it just depends on who you're talking about.
Like Trayvon Diggs on the Cowboys.
Right. And I think you're right. There's a lot of positives for points for football. I just don't think it's even close. It's basketball 1,000% of the time, every single day, all day long. And if people are arguing it, they've just never seen an athlete that's like 6'8" or 6'9" run at you the way these guys do.
That's exactly why, like, I feel like that's the huge nod going to basketball, right?
Right. Like some of these guys are like 7'2", and they're running up and down the court. Could you imagine a 7'2" tight end who runs like a 4.95?
Yeah, I mean they could be flying right there. I mean, like I feel like everyone's going to be, he's going to just be catching everything.
Who's going to stop him?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you might tackle him afterwards,
and then you bring it all the way back to just now it's playing the sport.
Right now, but if you
now you're playing the sport. If you're because my argument was if you're just going to be talking about like how fast can they fly through drills or like cones and strength with like benching and how high can you jump and like that kind of stuff.
Also, to me, like athleticism like transcends what you're doing. Like like a wide receiver, you drop him on a basketball court is nowhere even close to as if you pick up whatever a shooting guard with some athletic prowess, put him in a wide receiver spot. It's like he's gonna be 2 or 3 inches taller. Maybe a little slower.
Yeah, you put out like a Damian Lillard or something like that out there.
And he's going to be
just fine.
6'3", 6'4".
Right.
Probably taller.
He's a tall wide receiver now.
And you think he's not quick?
Yeah, the man's fast, like super fast. He's still fast at the age of 32.
Right.
33.
You don't think he can pick up like a 4-some time?
He definitely could.
A little ladder drill with Damian Lillard.
Yeah. You get a little John Morant. Derrick Rose.
Oh,
sure. You're making, those are like really exceptional guys, but those are the top tier. Mm-hmm. Those are the guys at the elite level for athleticism.
I want you to build me your favorite. I want a wide receiver. I want a quarterback. I want a running back. I want those 3 positions.
From the NBA?
From the NBA to NFL? Who would those three be? Wide receiver, quarterback, running back.
Quarterback, you got Chris Paul.
Oof. All time.
6 foot, but he's going to be like just dead accurate. He's going to be anticipating and seeing the game so well.
So quickly.
You don't even need, he doesn't need to be athletic.
Right.
Because over at the running back position, this is where it's a little tougher though. Because you take a guy from the NBA, he's not going to be very successful as a running back.
I don't know.
Historically, running backs that are taller than 6'3" don't do well in the NFL. So size does matter quite a bit, like pad height matters. So this is where it's a little bit difficult because there's not a lot of options in like the 6'3" to 6'1" range in the NBA.
I can see what you're saying.
And like hefty and size and like really strong.
I can think of one right now.
Who's that?
I can't remember his name.
Bane?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not as athletic as though he's not as athletic.
That is true.
He's like not that fast. He's not that quick. He's solid.
That is true.
He's not fast though. So that's where I have like that little bit of like that. It does transcend, but like it's transcends for like, you got to still be built a certain way. That's why like all really good running backs are like between the height of 5'9" and to 6'1" basically. And like are 215.
Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, you could do that. He's going to get hurt.
We're not talking. I mean, you get put a football player on a basketball court, the man's going to blow his ankle and Achilles out. He can't run that much. Or you can't talk about injury. If we're talking about injury, every single person.
We're just talking like just explosive ability and stuff
Correct.
like that.
Put him in the position.
Let's put Russell out there. Right. Russell Westbrook in the running back slot position. And then you give me John Morant in the wide receiver.
All time.
Yeah, and that's pretty hard to beat as far as the wide receiver position goes. That's an elite wide receiver.
But could anyone do what hockey's currently doing?
What, hockey?
Right. Could any single athlete?
No, not a chance.
Put on skates and do what a hockey player does.
Definitely
I bet
not.
you a hockey player could play baseball.
Oh yeah.
Bet you a hockey player could play golf.
Oh yeah,
Bet you a hockey player could play basketball.
I'm sure they're not not the tallest of dudes, but yeah, I'm sure
you can get a point guard out there.
Dude, you
gotta learn how to shoot.
You get some really athletic dudes in the NHL.
Right. Like they're, my true calling in a position should have been goalie.
Yeah, we joked about this over the weekend.
Right. And it makes complete sense. I'm quick twitch.
Got great hand-eye coordination.
Just
not a lot of top speed.
No top speed. One gear. And I used to, with an auditory meniscus, I was pretty flexible.
Yeah, I would say so. So without even really working on it.
So I should have been a goalie. It was a missed opportunity. Whatever. I'll live on. But also goalies on hockey teams are historically weird dudes.
Yeah, they're kind of like on an own island out there.
Yeah, and you have to save, like, if you're saving 95%, you're like doing a great job. That's insane. Stopping 95% of shots at you.
That's a really high percentage.
People are shooting 15 or 16 shots a game, easy.
Shots on net?
On net, 15 or 16.
I would say maybe more, right? 20?
Right. I was lowballing it.
I think you're saving like 18 shots a game. If you're
crazy.
facing 20 of them.
And these things are like, people are deceptively trying to, it's not like soccer where you're like, that's a header. Like you could try like read that or
right.
a ball that's coming clearly straight on.
These things are coming in at 70 miles an hour plus at you.
Easy. And people are getting in the way of you.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
And ricocheting them too.
I know.
In midair.
Deflecting those things with a
curved
curved
stick.
Do that? Yeah, I don't know, dude.
The puck's coming at them and they slap it in the air to redirect it.
Have you ever like seen hockey like workouts? What those guys do?
It's insane.
Like the amount of core strength and balance that they have as well. There's something to be said about the athleticism in the NHL that does not get talked about.
And it seems silly to me because all of them are such elite athletes, and they do it for such a long time too.
They play until they're 42 years old. The good ones do.
Some of the great ones still are balling at 40. Like
yeah.
LeBron's slowing down clearly, but toward 10 in his foot, we'll see. But like when you hit 40 in the NBA, you are old.
Yeah.
Like you are phased out, not keeping up. These 40-year-olds in hockey, because I think it's because they can go 30, 40 seconds. You tell a 40-year-old you got to work hard for 30 or 40 seconds, then you get it done.
Of course. But it's just crazy because the game is physical as well.
Right. But you still have old man strength at 30 or 40.
Yeah, you do.
So you can get a hold of some of these young bucks at like 18, 19, 20.
Totally fair.
And hockey is very much like soccer, where they have to do it and it's travel to different areas and private schools and club teams. It's very soccer national focus. So it's pretty much a commitment from start to finish for hockey too.
Yeah. There's like schools and programs you got to go and do.
Right.
There's not like just hockey rinks, just like left and right. Especially not where we are.
If you're good enough, you go to a different team.
Yeah.
We're in like club basketball. In my experience, we were able to like find a really good club locally. If not, you're max 30 to 40 minutes away from another amazing club team.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just keep rising the ranks until you're on something that you were like after freshman year. Weren't you on this insane club?
I did play on that club team. That was 8th grade for me. It was like all of like the top like.
It was a freshman dude because I remember coming and watching and we weren't friends in 8th grade. We were friends freshman year.
Maybe it was freshman year.
Because
that sounds right because it was all of like the top. It was all of like that's true. It's all of it. It was like the top players and like the local like communities, like counties.
It was you and Matt Mole, I believe.
Yeah, Matt came. That was just because he was like 6'5" and like 230.
It's insanely athletic.
Yeah, at like 14 years old.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I had a couple guys from like. San Clemente, couple guys from few guys from Capo, a couple guys from Mission.
Capo was a good ball team.
Really good high school team. But yeah, dude. That was a fun little club team. I didn't get a ton of time on that, but it was a fun and cool experience. Just seeing how athletic those guys are out there. Like when I was competing, and I felt like I was pretty athletic, but like you go and play some like higher end.
Let's hang on.
Counties.
Dunking in 8th grade.
I'm just saying, dude. Like to put it in perspective, like you didn't go and play like some of these guys.
Grade. That's extremely athletic.
And you're like, holy shit, this is another level of like speed.
Right.
And I didn't have that like, the speed and processing, like anticipation and all that kind of stuff.
I remember watching one of your games in high school, and you guys were playing against a Texas team.
Oh my God.
And you guys were getting absolutely pooped on.
Yeah, that was maybe I think this was a different club team, dude, because this is when I was like in 7th grade. This was like much younger, and it was at the top. It was the number 2 team in the country and from Texas.
I remember that, but I also remember watching this new Texas team you guys were playing.
Okay.
And they threw an oop.
Yeah, it's nuts. And you're like 14. You're like, what is going on?
Right. And they did an oop where they went over the top of the backboard.
Yes, I do remember that one.
There we
go.
Yes, this is the one.
It's like
I
the
saw.
green soldiers. They like were wearing like green jerseys.
They went oop over the top of the backboard. He missed the dunk, thank God.
But he got
there. He got it. He just missed it.
It was a wind up too.
Yes, and you guys all just laughed.
And the basketball went past half court because it ricocheted all the way back there.
And I think at that moment I was like, and I'm never playing basketball any higher than high school.
That's it.
That was it.
So if these guys aren't like if 1% of those guys are getting in the NBA, damn, that must be an athletic game.
And so I would love to hear people's arguments, football or basketball. For me, it's basketball all day.
Yeah. And I will say, if you were like not transcending any sports and you're now picking for just how heavy are you, how much power output, fast, speed, jumping ability, the edge I think has to go overall to the skilled players of football overall, because now you're taking all the skilled players in the NBA, all the skilled players in the NFL, and just athleticism wise, like has nothing to do with sports. Overall, those guys are built to go as fast as you can for power and speed and agility on every play.
Yeah, I don't. Because that's what they're training for, but they're not naturally better athletes than basketball players. If you told a basketball player who you got put on weight and every play you're gonna be built for power, agility. Sure. Like if you thin out a football player and you're You're playing basketball. You're going to play 45 minutes.
They look way different.
Way different.
Yeah.
So you're taking away like the condition. You're adding the different types of things for their sport. I would say if you dropped a football player and a basketball player body type, and they're both pro athletes.
Okay, here's your argument here.
Like,
and you got to find some sort of middle ground. It's a good test for everything.
There's no way a basketball player loses. They'll naturally be stronger. If they are 6'8" and someone is 6'5", 3 inches taller, you're probably going to be stronger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
Right? 6'8" guy, it's like, I mean, 6'8", you're cooking. These guys aren't slow.
Yeah, because you can know, like, you're
Onto the
you
Kupo?
like, yeah, I was going to say Giannis on that one. Dude,
Put Giannis in there.
Dude, 6'10" or 6'11".
Who in football is touching Giannis?
See, now you're talking about sports, though.
And talking in general and athletic ability. Who is touching Giannis? Put out anyone you want. You don't think Giannis can learn how to run backwards for 45 seconds?
No. He definitely can. I guess I was just trying to say, like, it has nothing to do with the sport. It all has to do with just times and strength.
Right. I would say it's still, for me, basketball. But
I hear you.
Anyways.
I am taking you on the fact that it is 100% if it starts going anywhere in the realm of, like, competing and, like, sports, and I'm talking about matchups and size, I'm with you on the basketball side.
But you're saying just a naturally better athlete's football.
When you say athlete, because it's now like all coordination, I'm talking they're the better, like, speed, agility, power.
Deal. They have those three categories. They will be on average faster.
On average.
And on average,
because you're talking about all of the other, all the basketball skill players, all the football skill players. Because I feel like there's, like, you know, have you ever seen, like, Nick Bosa before? Like, dude, that dude is, like, runs like a 4.5 40 and is 260. And he can bench, like, and he can squat like 600 pounds, like, six times, you know? And you're like,
for sure.
Damn.
But overall athlete, I would say, is basketball.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
I agree with you.
Awesome.
I'm glad you, like, met me halfway for that.
There you go. I get you now. You know, I want to get into the little cabbage here before we end this. Round this podcast out a little betting in our three worst. So at the end of the day of digging out concrete, something I hate doing, I sat outside and listened to a little YouTube video I bring up every once in a while, which is Mac Miller's Tiny Desk concert.
If you shout out Tiny Desk, but really the one with Mac Miller, that one is unbelievable.
I don't know why, but to me it was like.
Well, you must have, you know, you loved Mac Miller growing up. He was one of your favorite rappers. Yeah. You know, he was very popular when you were growing up. He was kind of like the same age.
Same age as me. My cousin looked just like him.
Yeah, like weirdly does.
Like
just like him. And, you know, R.I.P., you know, so
yeah. And,
like, I think that's one of the main reasons why.
For sure. I saw him when I was in San Diego when I was young. I caught his career early too. I caught his like first Kids album. So I kind of grew with him the whole time. And it brought me and my brother closer together. So he, as a musician, was probably one of the first celebrity deaths that I was like, damn. Like he was the guy. And you listen to this Tiny Desk concert and you realize how talented he was. He has a song on there called 2019. And the premise of the song, for how I take it, is that it's not like it's 2019 anymore. You know what's behind that door. It's the theme of the whole song. Like, he already knows where this road leads. He's trying to be a better person and accept his current new life, his new phase of life he's going in.
Got it.
And how he's looking at it differently. You know, and he's throwing out quotes like, you know, I don't want to butcher him. Like, she doesn't have to cry anymore because, you know, I'm not going to fight back, and I'm not
turning over a new page.
Like, it's we are starting. I'm just accepting. You know, all I have to give is, like, you know, bring you back with a smile. Like, oh, you know, he doesn't have money, he's okay with it, but like, you come over, he can give you a smile, and you can stick around a while. For whatever reason, I've been struggling with this next accepting phase of life for me. I'm 30. It's time, you know, I'm not a young, like, 21-year-old college kid where everything, you know, was super easy. And my biggest worry was, like, Rascals or plastic vodka.
Right.
You know, Madison and I were going to talk at the end of the night. Like, we didn't have to worry about bills or cars or dogs or whatever new responsibilities. And we don't even have kids yet.
Cutting concrete.
You know,
like,
and I'm just sitting back
house.
there and sitting and listening to this song and him talking about, like, accepting this new phase of life. And I think at that moment I was like, I think young Tommy would have been really proud of where, like, 30-year-old Tommy is currently.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's been, like, super difficult and it didn't go the exact way I wanted to. And maybe I'm not exactly where I want to be even at this age.
Sure.
Maybe I want to be more definitely want to be more financially well off.
Yeah.
Just being like, you know what, like, it's this new phase of life. I want to just, like, it is what it is. Like, I can't go back to 2019 anymore, even though, like, you know, I don't want to.
Right.
It wasn't a great year of my life, but it's just saying, like, you can't, you know what's behind that door. You've already done that. You've been there. You've done, you know, hopefully everything you wanted to do at that age. Like, you know what going to raves is going to be like. You know what driving to Vegas at 3 a.m.
Sure.
feels like.
We've already done it. You know, there's no looking back on it. You shouldn't. You could look back on it, but let's not keep pushing forward on with that.
Right. And I think I was just like, wow, dude, I would have never. If you asked 22-year-old Tommy if he would, like, own a home at 30, be married, like, using a concrete saw and a jackhammer.
You were like, shut up, dude. There's
Right,
no
like,
chance.
no
Show me the
chance.
clip. Show me the
Right.
clip.
And so, you know, I don't know what it was about that song, but, like, shout out to songs in a moment where you're like, you click into the music and you're like, what is going on? It just felt like whatever happened, Mac Miller reached through that phone. It was like,
Dude, yeah.
just blessed me with a song I've heard 100 different times for whatever reason. At that moment where I was currently at, where I'm currently at in my life, it just, like, clicked.
There's something really that can be said about a good song that really hits like that.
And it's weird because you don't expect it because it may be a song you've heard already multiple
Just clicks
times.
back in. And you're just like, holy moly, this is crazy.
Right. And you're just like, why is this like... And it's like, especially with a musician who's so talented. It's, you know, those songs usually don't happen on, like, one-offs.
Right.
Like, one-hit wonders. It's somebody with, like, a full catalog of albums who have been doing it for
Right.
a while, and you happen to pick, like... I don't know. I have, like, different...
Well, because they're also working on themselves too in their music too. So, and they're also going through things, and then they typically it's a form of art. You know,
Right.
So
I think he was,
it's
like, 28 when he made that song.
you know, it's an expression essentially of what he's maybe feeling as well.
He was going through the same age I was, probably the same phase of life, you know.
Yeah.
He unfortunately died from drugs, drug overdose. But yeah, it was like just crazy how when someone's having a similar experience, you don't expect that. And even like celebrities have to deal with something like that. You're like, dude, you can be young forever. But it's like, yeah, but you know, like even they know what's going on or what's behind that door. Like he's been there and done that. So
Yeah.
I think it's important to look back with fondness, but move on with like inspiration and hope.
Mm-hmm.
Like looking back and like being fond of an era, like I don't look back on high school and be like, wow, those are some good times. I don't even really look back in college with the partying and drinking and look back and be like, oh, I miss those days.
Mm-hmm.
I miss like the ease
Sure.
of everything. So like being like, okay, well, there's new eases in my life that in this current stage I'm in that is easier than it would have been when I was younger. But anyway, just thought I was, listen to that 2019 song. Shout out to those songs that just hit different.
Yeah, that's cool, dude. And then, I don't know. I think that's a good way of also looking at it as well, because now we are, I don't know, like we're so young as far as like adulthood, as far as like working a job and like what you
Right.
have to like take on and have more responsibilities with. It's something that's good. I feel like if you tune into that a little bit sooner and being like, yeah, this is good. Like I don't need to go back anymore.
Right.
You know, like I have so many more responsibilities down the line and so many things to look forward to. Like you get to actually build and work on yourself, other things that are important to you, restructure family ties, whatever that it may be. I think it's good to look forward and have clarity on that.
Right.
So it's like you might as well look forward and look to better yourself in that way instead of just always like looking back.
Yeah, and it's hard for me because I'm a person like we've talked about on the podcast who's incredibly
it's like, you know,
difficult.
it's so nostalgic as well.
Right.
It's so fun. Like, you know, you still have those.
Yeah, and I always thought it was weird when someone's like, "Oh, I look back on my high school days so fondly." It just was never me, and I know there's people out there who think that way, but it just wasn't for me. High school wasn't like that easy, so
Yeah.
I thought, I would never be one of those people who look back at like with nostalgia of something, because like drinking isn't really my thing. Like
It's
partying
fun.
wasn't really, I had fun.
You do it for the hangout.
I do it for the hangout, but
Yeah.
like I'd much rather have like 15 dudes just hanging out in a house and drinking and talking shit.
And watching a sports game.
For me,
Yeah,
that to me is like prime partying.
of course. Sports bets, all that kind of stuff.
Right. So for looking back on something like that, it's just so weird and just like also just such a waste of time.
Yeah.
Instead of just enjoying, life is super challenging now, but it won't always be.
Right.
Well,
that's what you're working towards.
Right. And that's the long and the short of it. But we have looking forward here with more fun things is a little golf tournament coming up in Memorial.
Yeah.
Why don't you give the people a little breakdown here of what it looks like in our current standings?
You got it, my dude. So looking forward here to Memorial Tournament on the PGA Tour here coming up this weekend. It's another little designated event. I would imagine because the purse, we just took a little look-see on it online.
Yeah.
Quick $20 million purse.
So what are these tournaments called again?
Is it designated?
Thank you.
Is that what it is?
Designated
Okay.
events.
That's what I've been saying, so I'm just going to keep saying it. I'm just going to just...
Till we're corrected.
I'm just going to just fall on that sword when it comes.
Right.
Yeah, designated event because it's a heightened purse, but I didn't see a lot of the like have to players on that list. So maybe this is just like an elevated purse event. So that's my thought. Course looks insane. It looks incredibly difficult. Par 72, 7,400 yards. Really windy, lots of drop-offs. If they have it running at a really hard, firm pace, they do. It's the PGA Tour over there. They bring some really tough conditions, and I don't know. I don't see a lot of players going. This is where like the PGA Tour is special. These guys are so good. If there's a winning score of like 17 or 18 under on this course after the 4 days and it's all said and done,
I don't think that's going to happen. That'd be insane.
But like you look at these courses though, sometimes you're like, wow, that's really difficult. That's 7,300 yards, kind of windy, got some trees, has some water out there. And then like dudes will post like a 24 under after the tournament. You're like, holy cow.
Yeah, I'm shooting like a 115 from that distance. Easy.
It's just like ridiculous. You just know like how good these guys are. Plus, we never even play on like greens with like that pace and like drop offs and like, yeah, dude. So anyways, tough course here. And then going from the PGA Championship, I kind of squeaked through a little bit of a win on that last one. So that gave me honors on this course. And I went with a guy that's just been on fire. And this was more of like a me pick. Like I want to see this guy pull through.
Right.
Like,
this is your guy.
And it's time. I've been following him for a long time, and I've always thought really highly of him. Great personality, Victor Hovland.
Nice.
So that's the guy that I want to see win a tournament. And he's been close the last few. And even a major, for that matter. He's been in like the top 5 like the last few tournaments for majors.
Right.
So I feel like he's on the doorstep. It's just open up the damn door. Get out of your way, basically. Like, let's close this thing out. All right. My number 2 pick here. This is a guy that I just, what an all-time class act. A guy that is just like kind of like a Roy McIlroy, just always a very genuine person, comes across as that. But definitely not as outspoken, but still it's Adam Scott for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Just really solid. I feel like he's also been playing some decent golf. Can be a little wild at times, but I just wanted to give him a little bit of a shout out, Who doesn't love a little Adam Scott in their lives?
Love little Adam.
And then I went with a young buck here for my 3rd pick, for like that rest of the field pick. He is kind of like, I believe like 2nd or 3rd year on the PGA Tour, but doing really good things off the tee, and that's driving, and that's the driving distance and accuracy for strokes gained. He's like, I believe in the top 10. I heard people saying top 15, so you're gonna need that here.
Yeah,
for 7,400 yards. Yeah, and that's Keith Mitchell for me.
Nice, good picks, buddy. You are currently in 34th right now on the leaderboards.
Yep.
And I'm at 41. So I need a good couple of weeks here to get me back in the hunt.
I heard that there was only 15 more events left in the season.
I think I feel good. We got time.
We're about halfway through.
I'm going to go Cantley for my number one pick. I went strictly because we looked at the past winners, and Cantley won twice out of the past 4 or 5 years, I believe.
Yeah. It's his course. He loves it.
So this is his course. I'm going to ride it down as somebody who's currently been playing well already this year and playing on something he already enjoys, going Patrick Cantlay.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else who I've been seeing their name a lot, throwing some rounds together recently, is Keegan Bradley. Sure, give me him.
Yeah, he's always solid. He's actually he surprises me.
Yeah.
Like when I look at his swing, I mean, this is no disrespect because those guys are like really, really freaking good. Right. But he does not have a very quote unquote traditional swing. He like is very like squatty in his swing. It's very, I agree. It's not like the most pretty textbook swing, but he just seems to get it done, and I enjoy his videos he's done with people. Yep. So gotta go with my man Keegan. And then someone you picked last week who did pretty well, I believe, who has done well-ish this season, is Davis Riley. Yeah. He did get cut at the PGA Championship.
Well, not this tournament.
Yeah, exactly. New tournament, baby.
New tournament. I just went with him because when you get to this rest of the field, people, let me tell you, it's slim pickings. You don't know who's up or down. And if you don't watch golf to a religious point of looking at leaderboards, you're not going to know who these people are.
Right.
Unless there's some big names. But for the most part, like, no clue who these people are. I'm feeling good about my top two. Not even. I'm feeling great about Cantlay. So I'm going to just ride Cantlay. Hopefully Keegan and Davis can get me something going. Round this podcast out for us, buddy. We're going to go. I had pizza today. So we're going to go with the 3 worst pizza toppings.
Yep.
And I think I started off last week, and I'm going to start off again this week.
Throw it my way, my guy. I'm going to start. Yeah.
You take it, buddy. Go ahead.
Yeah. You took us off last week. I got us this week.
Okay, you go for it.
Honorable mention. For me.
Love it.
I have one of these. And I know I'm going to get a little bit of backlash out of you, but I have a little bit of a rebuttal here. But it's just, my honorable mention is just too many toppings on a pizza.
I love that from you.
It's just too many.
Yeah.
It's that, I mean, toppings are great, but I'm just going to say honorable mention here is just like when you have 5 things or 6 things on a pizza, it starts getting a little bit too cluttered and you like lose. For me, like, it's supposed to be like very direct and very like simplistic, I believe. And like how you can have 3 or 4 toppings.
Depends
what they are. But if you get above that, that's way.
I'm
way
like a two topping guy right now.
Yeah.
I'm even doing like just pepperoni with some hot honey every time right now.
See, that's where I like to do like I don't mind like a pickled jalapeno on there.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do something like that and a hot honey, and then you could maybe do whatever, like really like finely diced like garlic or like oregano or that would be like a top, like my 4th topping.
Got you.
That would like I would consider
like a
that
seasoning almost.
Yeah, almost something like light. I
like that. That was my honorable mention as well.
Was it
too much toppings?
Okay, so number 3 here for me. This is something it kind of shocks me a little bit that it doesn't go well because I love this food item and everyone does, but for me it doesn't feel like it deserves to be on a pizza, and that's bacon.
Okay.
Like I don't ever like like maybe give me like a chicken bacon ranch, that's solid, but like if I'm looking for more just pizza like at its heart and like what it's supposed to be like in its greatest form, I'm not looking at the protein to be bacon on there.
No, but if you do really crispy bacon and you make bacon bites out of it and you sprinkle the bacon on top, much better.
Much better.
But if you get like the big pieces of bacon that's chewy, no good.
Yeah, that's for me what I usually get, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is for me. And then it's just like, I don't know.
I'm with you. Number 3.
That's my number 3. I'd much rather have pepperoni, salami, sausage, like any of those.
For sure.
So even chicken. I can even do like chicken, but like,
I can do chicken.
Okay, so that's my number 3. My number 2 here is this. It just dominates way too much. it just really takes over. I don't love olives on pizza.
Great call.
It's just too much for me. And it's never just like a dozen or like 2 dozen olives.
Yeah,
it is like covered the whole thing. Like this, I love a supreme pizza. Too many olives though.
Too many olives.
Yeah, and so it just dominates. And I feel like it could be in both of our ones, and it could not be, but it's very already debatable at this point. But I'm going pineapple, and I can't stand it.
Wow,
pineapple on pizza, I cannot stand.
Pineapple is not even on my list.
I'm sure. I opened up that pizza box over there, and sure enough, there was pineapple chunks.
That was wifey's. There's just a plain pepperoni pizza in there with some hot honey. And then there's the one that has everything on it. She doesn't always do pineapple pizza. So, but it also has a bunch of everything on it too. It's not just Canadian bacon and pineapple for her. It's all the toppings with bacon, with pineapple every once in a while. But anyways, it's a good list, buddy. I can see pineapple.
That's my one.
Be a heater. That's going to be a heater.
You love it or you hate it. There's no like in between. Right. I don't even really like the pineapple juice getting on the pizza.
I get you.
So even if it came with it and I just picked it off, I'm dealing with it. If it's the only pizza there, I'm eating it. I'm just pulling out the pineapple, not loving the fact that I got a little pineapple juice on there.
I get you. That's a great list, buddy. I think my list is going to piss a lot of people off. Because I agree with you completely. I love pizza. I'm like being in the top 1% of pizza lovers.
Yeah, good pizza, dude. Man,
I'm up there. Pizza's my favorite food.
Really? I did not know that.
It's Italian food, but like if I had like historical favorite, it would probably be pizza.
When you get some really, really good pizza and they like ferment the dough for like 3 days and it's like sourdough going on and there's like different kinds of flours that they're mixing together. They get the charred bits, wood oven.
I can always go for pizza.
Like it's so solid.
When everyone's like, let's get pizza. I'm like, yes, please. Yeah. I agree completely that too many toppings is a real issue, especially if the pizza place doesn't know what they're doing. You have to overbake the crust if you put that many toppings on because it's the only way to like hold the structural integrity.
Yeah, because I'm never looking to do fork and knife with pizza.
No, and if I pick it up and it's like flips over and all the things drop off of it, I'm immediately heated.
Right.
And it's like soggy at the base. Also, when did pizza become $400 to get pizza?
Dude, it's out of control. Out of control.
I mean, it's not even cheap to go to Domino's.
You got to do the three. You got to do the large 3-topping takeout.
Yeah, and it's like, who's doing that? Like, if I want decent pizza, it's like $22 for a medium. Yeah. My mom used to have like a pizza party for $40, and there was like 2 large pizza, 1,000 wings of salad.
You know what though? You go to Costco. Those pizzas are real cheap still.
Right. I gotta figure out a new way. But if you're going like a Blaze or Pieology, it has to be like a 4-topping. I know you're gonna go blind by all the toppings in there. And just don't. You have to think of the moisture level, what you're putting on there, because you're going to load that thing up and it's going to come right off. So, number 3 is a moisture bomb. It adds no flavor. It has awful texture when you put it in there, and it's spinach.
Yeah.
Spinach on top of a pizza, like on a veggie pizza.
Not for me.
Doesn't do anything for me. It's never holds well. It's way too much moisture. It's not good.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you. That's a great pick, dude.
Number 2, for me, I don't like these items already, so putting it on a pizza isn't helping it, and that's mushrooms. Mushrooms, I need a little jazz and dance to them. And they throw mushrooms like out of a bag, just on a pizza and in the oven.
I got major issues with it because I love mushrooms, but I know you hate mushrooms, so I knew it was going to be on the list.
Right. If they maybe elevated the mushrooms and then put it on the pizza, then great. Maybe they pan roasted it or fried them or something different, and then just right out of the bag into a fire oven.
They're also using like white button mushrooms, which literally have 0 flavor as well. It's
just like styrofoam texture.
Yeah.
It's styrofoam funk. Mm-hmm. And then number 1 for me is clearly number 1. There's no doubt at all in my mind about this number 1 is anchovies.
Whoa, interesting.
I won't eat anchovies on pizza.
That came out of left field, but yeah, dude, for sure. You cannot stand that fishy, salty
Can't do
thing
it.
going on
And there's
there.
if everyone was like, "Oh, I have anchovies on my pizza," I'm like, "Cool." I'm not even opening the box. Everything else in there is ruined already because of your anchovies, and they look at you too while you eat them. They're like full, and I can taste it when they blend it up into things, and I can fight through it on most things if it's blended up and I can't see it, but I can tell.
You love a good Caesar, though.
Yeah, but not all Caesar dressings have anchovies.
Okay.
The legit ones do. Like, but I haven't had a legit, like, I'm talking like where they're doing, like, they're mixing it in front of you.
In like the bowl
from
right there.
Mexico. Like, I haven't done that. Where it's just like two big anchovies. A lot of them just use like fish, like sauce or something to add that funk. And I'm okay with that because fish sauce is historically fire.
Oh, yeah. It's so good. I love fish sauce.
So, and you get a little funk from it every once in a while, but I can fight through it. But I get through it.
It's a good list, dude.
Three.
I've definitely had sardines on pizza, and I like it. I'm a fan. But
sardines and anchovies the same thing?
Actually, did I say sardines?
You said sardines.
Anchovies? I think they are.
I don't know. Is the sardine a type of anchovy?
Maybe.
This is something
Maybe
we
it's
have to Google
the
later.
size. Maybe it's how like long they're like stored in a can for. I don't know, dude.
Who knows?
The whole anchovy sardine thing is very strange because they're like in oil and they're like canned.
Right.
But they're soft. So like I totally understand where you're coming from.
They look at you.
Do they comfy them in there? Is that why?
I think so, and that's how they preserve them.
Okay.
And like, I don't want to eat preserved
fish.
fish.
It's a very strange food item
for sure.
Yeah, but man, do they hit!
I mean,
love them.
I mean, if I don't taste it in something, I definitely know the sauce will be elevated with them.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't want it. And you got anything for the people here, buddy?
Well, just to kind of finish up on your thought here with the, it'll be my last thing. Look at the beef that I had that I marinated.
Oh yeah,
that was lime, rice wine vinegar, soy sauce, palm sugar,
like that,
and fish sauce.
Right.
And like I've been loving fish sauce and like in marinades, so you can like cook it off and like it delivers that umami flavor.
And
like,
the steak was super charred from the palm sugar.
Yeah,
it crusted the steak up nicely. Yeah. It was great.
So that's what I've been kind of vibing with, doing a lot of like Thai cooking. So check some of that stuff out. But that's what I got, dude. Good stuff tonight.
Shout out to obviously the crew, Devin editing the podcast. Thank you, buddy. Jake with the thumbnails, and of course my wifey with the graphics. Thank you all. Not possible without you. And we're in the cabbage. And just a reminder, keep swinging.